Welcome everybody to Rev Talk. I am Reverend Beverly and I'm going to introduce you to Reverend Kim. We just had a great do-re-mi to introduce us, but it ended before we started. It would have been a great introduction. Everyone knows that song. Take it away, Kim.
Hi everybody. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. That is it's called I think they call them cracker clocks or something like that, where this clock plays a tune at every hour and it's a different tune. And this one was Do a Deer on the Sound of Music. But long story with that. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. I was just telling Bev that I have a new deck that I'm kind of getting used to. It's called the Celtic Astrology Oracle cards, and they're beautiful cards. And the one card that I pulled today is the Oak, which is the stabilizer. Right? They're beautiful cards. They really, really are. And of course, the bird or the animal that goes along with the oak is, I think, the wren. Of course, with the oak, everybody kind of associates the oak with strength, which is true. In the astrology card, it also describes it as a gentle strength, something that is enduring and patient, and as the Druids say, fast as a speeding oak, which I
like that.
I love that idea. I think that's so great. So it is. It's oak folk are in for the long haul. It's all about patience. It's all about, the long term, the long view, the wider vision of life and our journey. So I think, especially nowadays, there's an awful lot of upheaval. It's good to remind ourselves, I think, to be that strength, to be patient with ourselves and also with others around us, because there is an awful lot of energy swirling around that's just, making everybody cray cray.
It's amazing because I think of oak is just overpowering and strong and grounding. And that leads into, like you say, patience and plodding ahead slowly and steadily and not deviate on your path, but continue to that golden light. And the oak is always there. It's always steadfast. It always protects you. And the stronger you are in grounding, the chaos around you will dissipate. As long as you're strong, like an oak, and steady. And I think that's what the message is telling you. It's not think outside the box or worry about what the neighbor's doing. It's stay in your straight vision and visualize where you're going step by step, knowing you're grounded and are heading in the right direction.
I like that. I like that. And so here's something that I've been thinking about as well, as far as trees are concerned. I love trees. I have a deep, abiding love and passion for trees. And I think, each one has their own characteristic, has their own personality. Oaks, like you said, are very, very sturdy and strong. Their roots go deep. There are some trees like a weeping willow, which is very flexible and goes with the flow and the wind. Its roots are rather shallow, though. You'll find them mostly near water, near like streams and rivers and bodies of water. And so I think that because the ground is not quite as, it's like soft, so if
not as dense,
a big wind or something can knock a willow tree over before an oak, oaks. And so I think if we kind of envision or visualize our own roots going deep into the earth like an oak, that helps us to stay grounded, especially now, at any time, but I think especially now with, all the turmoil and all the energies that are just swirling around. It's good to remind yourself. And if you're not, you're not sure how to visualize that, I always like go outside and I have this, this beautiful cedar tree outside, and I just love going out there. And there are times when all I need to do is just put my hand on the tree, put on the trunk and just be there and be in that energy. Trees are very forgiving and very understanding. They're not moving around. They're not like picking up and going. They're right there. They're always there. And I just love the idea that they are an anchor for us as well. Something for us to touch.
You said they're always there.
Mhm.
And all I could envision is the roots going into the center of the earth, the soul of the world, the magnum, and they're always there. They're always steadfast, no matter what tornadoes go, no matter what wind blows them, they're always grounded. They're always there. And I think that's probably what they represent to us, is to remember to stand tall, stand deep in your convictions, in your soul, and ground down into what you believe. Because then the outside cannot bother you, because you are supported in your belief and your grounding.
That's awesome. Yes, to honor your truth. And
Yeah.
I think trees are a wonderful example for us on how to not only stay steadfast and strong, but also to bend when necessary. When things get kind of hurricaney, to bend with that wind, to not stay so rigid that you might break.
Well, an example of that, we have 40-mile-an-hour winds go through our pine trees. I sit there and I watch them and I get so upset because I have to go pick up the pine needles. Some of the trees lose their limbs and some of the trees don't, but they're all steadfast in how they stand. And I look at it as you got rid of something that no longer served you, so you could grow stronger and taller with your new growth. So I go out and talk to them and I honor their loss and I give them like a pat on the trunk, but it's letting the tree know, we know what you're doing. We stand with you. Continue your journey. And as I've studied, the trees send their roots to the other trees and they communicate in a higher vibration. So if one's sick, they'll send the energy over to help the sick one.
Well, that's what I was thinking too, because what you had, and you brought on that point, the oak tree and all trees,
Yes.
their seeds and their seeds go floating around and all, and they nurture the smaller trees growing, where they've landed.
Correct.
Which I think is also a wonderful symbolism for us to look out for each other. Yes. And I read something and I don't remember it entirely, except that, if you're looking at a tree, just remember they're looking at you too.
Oh, that's nice.
And I love that. It's like, oh yeah, I like that.
Everybody has an energy, so it's true.
Yeah.
I never thought of it, but if I'm Yeah, that is very true.
I mean, you're going out there and talking to your pine trees, and I love
Yeah.
listening to the wind in trees because
Oh,
then the
yeah.
trees are talking, you can hear them talk that way. And I just love that. So for you with all those wonderful pine trees, oh my gosh, they're just like singing, so yes, they see you and they're
I
talking,
never, yeah.
which I love.
I never thought of it that way, but that's fantastic. That's beautiful because now I'll talk right back to them and watch them.
Absolutely, absolutely. We so many times we take for granted what's out there in nature for us, and that's been, part of the society as far as rush, 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 and oh, this is in my way, and cut down a tree.
Oh, yeah.
Dad, don't do that. So it's kind of good to think of the oak, to pause, to be patient, to allow
Settle,
yourself.
settle in where you are and
Right.
appreciate what you have.
Yes, absolutely. To just, and again, ground yourself and think of, the good things that have happened in your life, and breathe, and allow yourself to sink into the earth, to put your roots down and slow it down, because, you know, we have all the time in the world. The whole concept of I'm late, I'm busy, I'm rushing, I don't have time, I don't have, it's like, yes, as a matter of fact, you do. You have all the
Or
time.
the old phrase, make time. You don't have to make time. You do time.
Right. You have the time. You do. It's a misconception that we're running out of time. That's a fear-based, phrase that has worked well for quite a long time. And we need to kind of turn that around and recognize that we are that powerful. We do have the time to do everything we're here to do. So relax, relax
Yeah.
like a tree, just
Smell the roses. Enjoy the moment.
let the wind touch your face,
Mm.
and smell the flowers from spring, and listen to the birds, and be steadfast and true to your life.
Now is the time to appreciate nature. It's spring. Everything's new and blooming and giving back to Mother Earth everything that it has held over winter.
I like all the seasons. I do. I'm kind of, well, I'm a bit of a curmudgeon when it comes to winter, but but I like all the seasons because I like the passing, and like the ending of one season and the slowly beginning of another. And spring is always so sought after because of the cold and the dark and all, and so yes, this time of year is just wonderful for rejuvenation, regeneration, renewal,
Mhm.
new birth, birthing new ideas,
There you go.
so yeah, and growing new trees.
Yes. I just watched a commercial today for Northern toilet paper. And for some reason, it stuck in my brain because the lady was saying they plant 2 trees for every, no, 3 trees for every tree they tear down to make this toilet paper. So we are sustainable. I thought, well, that's a nice thing to do. Because that's what I hear every tree that they tear down here in the forest, they plant too.
Right.
I like that.
Well, it needs to be done. And of course, we need to let the old forests alone. We don't need to be.
Nature will take care of itself with the old forest.
The old forests are what sustain us and sustain our ecosystem and our lives and this planet.
Mhm.
So leave them alone. It doesn't matter how many trees you plant. If you get rid of the old forest, you have gotten rid of an entire ecosystem that's going to really throw everything out of whack. So again, be mindful, of trees and of life and of this planet. I truly believe this planet is not just, a marble in space. It is a living, breathing extension of us, or we of it.
Mhm.
So take care of it, because that means you're taking care
takes-
of yourself.
I was going to say it takes care of us. Mhm.
Right. So we need to take care of it. So again, going back to the oak with the be steadfast and patient and allow yourself to grow into the beautiful, strong being that you truly are.
I agree.
So what do you think, my dear?
I think that was complete right there.
Okay. All right. So we will end this for this week. Thank you all for joining us. And remember, please remember to be kind with yourself and to be gentle with yourself. And know that you are unique in all the universe. There will never be another like you in all of space and time. You are powerful, you are cherished, and you are loved. And without you, the song of the universe would be incomplete. Until next time, my friends.